What's up, everybody? It's Mike, aka Gotham City Underground here. This is a little different from my normal videos. I wanted to sleep on it last night. I was gonna record right after I got out of the movie, but I did go see Supergirl last night. And so I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm gonna break it down, non-spoiler first, of course, in case you haven't seen it yet, and you're going to go see it this weekend, and then I'll get into some of the spoiler stuff afterwards. But I don't know what all the hate was about. There was a lot of hate online for this movie. I don't understand it. It was a good movie. It was a really good movie. I'll be honest, I was kind of nervous about going in to see this one. Just because, I was reading a lot of stuff about the movie and seeing all the, mixed reviews on it, and they were early reviews, but I think it was more the story that I was nervous about, just the movie in general, than all the people they picked for the actors and actresses. I'll tell you what, they nailed it. Millie Alcock is Supergirl. I'm excited to see her going forward. She killed it. The girl that played Ruthie was really cool. She was, if I had to say one thing that I, was like whatever about the movie, it would probably be her. There was times where she was, a little annoying. But she obviously, she's part of the story, the bigger story of this movie. So, but for the most part, she was cool. It was just a few times I was like, yeah, it's cool. Just go away. And of course, well, let's talk about the villain, Krem. He was cool. I would have liked to see him a little bit more, but when you did see him, there was times he was pretty terrifying, as a villain. Other times not so much, but he was really cool. And of course, the fucking man, Jason Momoa as Lobo. I mean, we could have just skipped all this Aquaman shit and just gotten straight to Lobo. I don't think it probably would have worked in Zack Snyder's universe too, but I was glad to see him finally play Lobo, the character he has wanted to play for a long time. He killed it. He was funny. He had his little quips. The action sequences with him were badass. I mean, I got super excited when they first showed him on the screen. It was pretty early on in the movie. You get your first glimpse at him. And that kind of stuff, you saw in the trailer. They started releasing more trailers before the movie came out. But he was badass. I was a big nerd, and I did pick this up with my popcorn for my love of Lobo. I love Lobo, and I'm so glad that we got him, and he's not going anywhere. And to all the people that were complaining about, how big the popcorn storage portion of this is, you fucking stupid, okay? Nobody's eating out of this, okay? Look at the detail on this. Nobody's eating out of this, okay? This is for display only. This is a supporting actor for the popcorn, okay? The popcorn is what you're going for. This is the gift, okay? And it does, I don't know if it'll be hard to see or not. I guess you can see a little bit. It does blink. The flames light up. But this shit's badass. So Lobo was super cool. I loved him. I can't wait to see him again. I know he's going to be in more stuff, coming down the line. So that was awesome. The story I thought was good. I mean, they took some stuff obviously from the Woman of Tomorrow comic. Not a lot, but they did take some. And they let the movie kind of walk on its own 2 feet, I guess you could say, as a whole, and it worked. I mean, it's not Superman. Okay, it's not the Superman movie. The Superman movie was amazing. it had a lot of goofy stuff in it, because that's what it was. This is not that. This is a very darker movie, a lot of emotion, because Supergirl's going through it. She witnessed her planet dying, and she has no friends, and she's just, she's going through it. I mean, she has Superman, but she's kind of, she's part of the super family, but she's not Superman. She's going through it. So yeah, I thought the movie was good. I don't know what all the hate was about. I read a lot of stuff. There was some stuff from people that I kind of, okay, yeah, I get it, but that's just their opinion. I thought it was a good movie, and I can't wait to see what they got next for Supergirl. Because I'm sure they're going to use her in some more stuff. But definitely, go out and see it. Go see it for yourself. Don't listen to all the people online, because there's a lot of Zack Snyder, troll bots out there they're trying to just shit on everything that James Gunn has done so far, and so far they're wrong. It was a good movie. I liked it. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. There was a couple dull parts, but they made up for it in the action and the story, because it's a bigger story from just the crypto thing. Crypto gets shot with that poison arrow by Krem, and that's what they show you. But there's there's a lot more to Krem than what they show you in the trailers. So I definitely recommend it. Go see it. Go enjoy it. Go in with an empty mind. Don't list. Don't be reading stuff before you go in. Just go in, sit down, and enjoy the movie. It was like an hour, I believe, like an hour 50 minutes. So it's a fairly short movie. It seemed like it was a little bit longer, like once you're sitting, because you get sucked into the story and you get sucked into all the stuff. The action was great. The visuals were great. Krypton looked awesome. They used a couple, in the fight scenes, they used a couple of those slow motion shots that you saw in Superman, which I thought was cool. I liked seeing that. And then seeing Supergirl and Lobo on the same screen fighting together was really awesome. So yeah, definitely go see it. I saw it at Cinemark in the ScreenX theater. I had never done the ScreenX before. It was really cool. It was a pretty cool experience. They project the screen off to the sides of the walls as well, so you get to see more of what's going on, more of the background and stuff like that. So, and they don't use it the whole time. They used it a lot, but not the whole time. So it was cool to like expand, like, when she's in her room, like just hanging out, or flying around on the planets and stuff. So that was cool. I'm glad I didn't get the seats that shake and throw you around and stuff, because that would have been fucking terrifying, because I could feel that shit. I was sitting a couple rows in front of those fucking ejector seats, and I could still feel that shit like really well. So I didn't even need to spend the extra money, because the whole place was shaking at times. So yeah, definitely a good movie. Solid 7 out of 10. I give it. I mean, I think that's fair. So let's get into the good stuff. I'll give you guys a few seconds to mute this and run away from your computers back into your fortresses of solitude. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, like I said, there's a bigger story than just the crypto thing. Obviously, Kara is her mission, or her purpose is going and finding the antidote for the poison that Krem shot Crypto with. And the reason, he was stealing her ship. So her and Ruthie are kind of talking, and and they go, the Crypto sees it, goes, and they shoot, so, but the bigger story, so beginning of the movie, you find out why Ruthie is with Supergirl, or comes to find Supergirl is because Krem, excuse me, Krem murdered her family at the beginning of the movie. It begins with Supergirl and stuff, and then it cuts to Ruthie, and Krem murders her family. All thanks to her stupid brother, who decided he didn't know what was going on. He was in his room, and he jumps out to do something stupid, and Krem puts an axe in his back, big old battle axe in his back, and kills him, and then murders the whole family. So that's where Ruthie comes from. That's why she ends up finding Supergirl, and they team up. She's looking for someone to help her get her revenge on Krem. She wants to murder Krem, so that's how they meet up. What else? The Kryptonian, the Krypton scenes were awesome. I loved the visuals on that. You get to see Kara grow up. We've had Supergirl in Zack Snyder stuff. We've seen her on TV shows, but we never got this version of Kara. We get to see her life. I mean, there was a lot of, they did flashback at times, in between this, in between the story, they flashed back. But it worked. I mean, it worked for whatever scene they were transitioning to the flashbacks. But Krypton was cool. They did throw a little stuff in there with Superman, because her parents are Superman's, aunt and uncle, obviously. But, they did throw a little thing in there where, the dad says, they sent, that must be, Clark's, Superman's pod flying away. They showed his pod flying away before, the beginning when Krypton gets destroyed. And they're like, they're sending him to be the conqueror of worlds. So that's a little throwback to Superman, and the message that his parents left him. So there was that. But it was cool to see Kara grow up, from a young girl, and her first encounter with Crypto as a little puppy. I fucking love Crypto. Okay. Crypto is, I want to see Crypto in every fucking thing that James Gunn does from now on. Even if it's just him running and flying by, doing something stupid. So you get to see little Crypto and Kara and, their interactions and stuff. And then so basically what happens is they put a dome around the center of Krypton, and Krypton dies. And so that everybody that's inside that dome is safe. And the reason why Kara ends up getting shipped away, which was cool to see, is because when all that shit happened, when they put the dome down, it basically cut through the earth around the planet to secure that center part of Krypton. Well, they unearthed a bunch of kryptonite. And so it started killing people. And so her parents got poisoned by it, and they eventually die. And it was a very emotional, very dark part of the movie, because you do see her mother die, and they, take her away, and her dad is dying. So he builds a pod just like Superman's, but he obviously builds it bigger because she's grown up at this point almost. I don't know if she's a teenager at this point in the movie or she's a little bit older, but she's all grown up now. So he had to build a bigger pod for her to fit in. And so she doesn't want to go, but he says, no, you need to bring, keep our legacy alive, and you need to go protect people. It was kind of the opposite. His message to Kara was go protect those that can't protect themselves. So that was kind of cool too. So, she flies away, and so it was cool to see her, kind of, her origin story from Krypton until now. The only thing I know it worked, but I wish they would have just put that whole thing together. I guess it would have, kind of made people forget about what was going on in the main story. But so you see that part, and then later on you see her interaction with Clark when she lands on Earth. That was cool too. that was kind of like the more light-hearted, funny moment. Their interaction. Because she's speaking Kryptonian and he doesn't speak any of it because he was a baby. Um, but so those scenes were cool. The flashback scenes and stuff were very cool. Um, Krem, for the most part, was really cool. I did kind of get the feeling because I saw a lot of people saying he was kind of a bland villain. Yeah, yes and no. I mean, at times he was, but at times he was pretty ruthless. Like I said, he murdered Ruthie's family, like just like that, and was eating their food, and just being one of those villains. And he's part of the I think it's the Bregan, like a group, his group or whatever. So they were just running around creating chaos the whole time. But yeah, I mean, and then Lobo, you know, Lobo's scenes were fucking awesome. I mean, his fight scenes, there was actually a cool part in. For some reason, he got captured. He just wanted to get captured, so he was in a cell. He basically just said he wanted to take a nap. But Ruthie got captured because they do show at this point. So they, every time they go to a new planet, they did like a Guardians of the Galaxy type thing where they show the name of the planet, all that stuff, the information about it, which was cool. That was a little nod to Guardians. But so they do show the planet that has the kryptonite sun, the green and yellow sun, which was really cool. I was hoping they were going to do that because I did read about it. I was hoping they were going to do it, and they did. So that's when you get to see Kara get broken down, and she's basically dying. Ruthie tries to go help her with, get some stuff. She gets captured by the Bregan, thrown in the cell. And there was a cool moment where, she wants to go talk to Krem to give up any information about Kara. The guard comes in and she ends up fucking this dude up. Like, that kind of redeemed it for her. At that point, I was like, okay, this chick's badass. Because she fucked this dude up. She killed him. She ended up putting his throat through a poison spike on the door of the cell. And Lobo's just sitting there the whole time, just, he's like, oh, that's good shit. That's good shit. He's just enjoying the whole thing, just sitting back watching the whole thing. But yeah, so that part was really cool. And I don't want to fucking tell the whole goddamn movie because then you don't need to see it. But the one thing, probably the best thing, I think, and it worked for this movie. It wouldn't have worked in a Superman movie. It wouldn't work in any other movie. We get something that kind of separates Supergirl and Superman. They're part of the super family, obviously. But they decided to do something that is off the grid, and I know Superman would not be okay with. Supergirl does kill in this movie. She does kill. The at the end of the movie, the whole thing with Krem, everybody's fighting. The whole final conflict is going down. Lobo's there. Everybody's there fighting. Ruthie wants her revenge on Krem. They finally got Krem down. Supergirl beat the shit out of him. And Ruthie has him. She has him dead to rights. She has her sword that she had gotten from her dad that he was trying to take the whole time. And she was going to kill him. And Supergirl flies in and goes, no, like, don't put that on yourself. The revenge is not going to help you heal. And she's talking from experience. And she basically talks her off the ledge. And Ruthie, she says, just walk away. You got it. You got your revenge. Now just walk away. So Ruthie exits stage left, and Supergirl stands over him with that sword, and she says, "This is for her family," and she stabs him in the stomach. And then she really looks at him and she says, "This is for Crypto," and she stabs him in the throat, and she killed him. So obviously, Superman is not one to kill. He wanted to send where is it? That little guy there, I can't even remember his name now. He wanted to send that motherfucker to the zoo, to preserve him. So, yeah, so I like that. That was probably my favorite part, is that they gave her, that we're getting that version of Kara, where I don't know if she's ever going to do it again, but in this movie, it definitely worked because she was broken down. She saw her planet die, she saw her parents die, and then Crypto was the only thing she had left. And to almost lose him, she did it. She killed Krem. So so that was cool. I did like that. So yeah, I mean, I'll just leave it at that. That was just a few moments that, spoiler moments that, I didn't want to talk about in the beginning, but overall, it was a good movie. Don't go in expecting to have a good time. I mean, there is moments where you will, but overall, it's a very emotional, very darker movie. There's a lot of death and destruction in this movie between Krem, just fucking people up. Lobo just tears it up. My favorite, I'll end with this. My favorite moment with Lobo was before all that happened, at the third act of the movie, the ending of the movie. The big scene on top of the big ship, everybody's fighting and stuff. And Lobo just wants to end it all. So he takes off on his space hog, flies around, he's showing all these grenades, and he's just laughing. He has all these grenades in his hand. He flies around the ship and just starts blowing the shit out of this ship. And that was pretty awesome, like seeing him do that. And then he just takes off, like the whole ship's going down, and he's just running around throwing grenades, blowing everything up. Doesn't care who's on the ship. But that was dope. Lobo, I'm telling you, dude, you're gonna love Lobo. You're gonna love him. So that's my review of the movie. I mean, overall, 7 out of 10. Solid movie. Is there stuff I wanted it to be better? Hell yeah. Of course. Every movie's got that. There's no movie that's perfect, okay? Except for Spider-Man. Spider-Man's gonna be awesome. But yeah, overall, great movie. Really, really good movie. So go see it. Please go see it. And please leave me some comments when you go see the movie. Come back to this video. Let us know what you thought about the movie. If I'm right or wrong on stuff. If you disagree with me or agree with me on stuff, let me know. Let me know stuff I left out because, I'm retarded. So can I even say that? I probably can't. But, just let us know. Like, share this video. I'm going to collab this with the Black Sheep Comic Club YouTube page, so go watch it there if you want. Watch it on my page, doesn't matter. Just give this video some love. Let me know what you thought. Give me good criticism, bad criticism. Tell me I'm ugly. I don't care. Make sure you follow, subscribe to both pages, Black Sheep Comic Club on YouTube, Gotham City Underground on YouTube. And thank you all for watching this video. I hope you like it as much as I did. Peace out.